I've never been exposed like this before.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing Katerina's birthday balloons and party balloons all in one video. So I'm going to do her balloons for her birthday and then we're going to reuse them again for her party. So I'm going to show you how I can do that because I'm going to be making a balloon bouquet with numbers on, number 11, and then we will also be making a hot air balloon to put snacks in, and then we will also be doing the garland. Well, actually for her birthday we will be doing a hoop, and then I'm going to show you how you can reuse those exact balloons and turn them into a garland. So if you want to see how to do that, then please just keep on watching. Let's look in the big box of goodies. So I know I've got some white sand balloons in here somewhere. My god, look at all this stuff. Got some white sand balloons somewhere. I've also got some champagne-y ones, as well as the ones that I've bought. The ones that I've bought are GARLAND macaron balloon in 11" and 5". And then we also have Tuftex, which I don't think I've ever used Tuftex before, in blue slate. We've got the 11", the 5", and I think it's 24". I think they're over there. Oh goodness. So yeah, this has been in an awkward place in the cupboard. So it's just, I've just kind of gone in, got the stuff and left when I've done it. Oh, I think this is the white sand. Yes! This is the white sand. I don't have loads of white sand, but I just want like a little bit, so just so it like breaks up the blue a little bit, so it's not like so blue, just like a little bit of something else. Do you know what I mean? And we do have loads of just normal gold, like Semtex gold, reflex gold, if I want to go down that route, if I don't have enough of the champagne ones. So I need to find them and see what I've got. I'll leave the gold out just in case. So I'm going to find these and come back because it's too much. I think we're going to go with just the blues for the balloon bouquet. And if memory serves me correct, I think I used to do the larger size balloon in an 8 and then the smaller size in a 6". So I'm going to blow up some quads first of all. I also apologise for my balloon face. I actually hate balloons, so I always pull weird faces when I'm doing it. So I'm then gonna put it into the hole, and then as it goes through, it means it's 8". So that is 8". Yeah, that looks about the size I want. By the time there's 4 of them. I think we'll go for a size 8. So with something like a balloon bouquet, you want all of the balloons to like be the same size. So then just crossing them over and tying them off like that. So yeah, height wise, yeah, that'd be good height. I'm just gonna take my rings off quickly because I don't want to pop anything. So again, going to do the exact same thing. Again, going to move it away from that way because I don't want it to pop. 8". So I'm just crossing my arms over basically like that, and it creates a cross, twist it round, and then tie them off. And then I'm going to make it into a quad. I've also done the necks so that they're quite long because we're going to use these to tie everything together. You can use like longer balloons like the 260 balloons if you want to, but I find it's much tighter and neater if you use the necks of the balloons. So I'm just going to twist these together. And then we have a quad which will sit flat like that for the balloon bouquet. So we want to do, I think I'm going to do 3 lots of these for now, and then 2 lots of the smaller ones. So we'll do some of the smaller ones now, which is the 6-inch. Just basically going to go in between. Don't marble it up so big, to be honest. So 6 inches. And as we do these, it will come together, so they will go in between those ones. So I'm gonna make the cords and then I'll be back. Okay, so I now have 3 8-inch, 2 lots of 6-inch, and then I also made 2 5-inch ones, which are actually done to 4 inches. So I'm going to take these ones to just kind of help it all kind of hold together, and you will need a couple of balloons to like do as like water weights as well, just to kind of keep it standing up. So first of all, I'm going to do these ones. So you want to make these flat, and you're going to make it into a cross. You don't want the balloons to match up. You kind of want it to go into the nook of it, because then it like snugs it in. So you don't want it balloon on balloon, you want it in the gap, snugging in. And you're going to take one of the necks from this one and one of the necks from this one, and then you're going to tie them off together. I ripped that one. Great. Although it seems to be sitting in fine. So got that flat and this flat like that. So now we want to move on to the tealy colour. So again, flatten it out and it's going to snug in. So it's going to start to like stand like this, and it's going to go along and make the shape for the numbers to sit in. And you want to tie it as tight as and as close as possible, because then it's nice and neat and snuggy. So yeah, so you can see it's now starting to take shape. So you're going to go with your 8-inch balloon again, and we're going to stick this one on top of it. I hope you can understand what I'm doing. I can't really show you because I can't get in there with the camera, but I'm basically taking one of the necks from one set to one of the necks of the balloons to the other set, and then tying them off together essentially. So as you can see now, we've got the first kind of half of a base. Nice and squared off, all even in size, and actually it's pretty secure. It's more just for when the numbers go on, it's good to like have the water weight there to kind of stop it from toppling over. So now we're going in with the tealy colour again, and just tying those. Apparently I didn't do then, because you can't really see what you're doing, so you just kind of have to like go with, trust what you're doing, basically. Almost done. And so far this has taken me less than 5 minutes to tie together. And then just to secure it in place and stop it popping out, you want to attach the final 5-inch to the end. And then you have a pretty solid base. So you can obviously flip it over and find which side you think is the prettiest side. I'm now going to just take a couple of balloons and fill them with water, and then I like to tie them off with, well, I tie them off on their own, and then I tie one of these to them, because I find this is a really easy way to then tie them into the bouquet itself. Okay, so I now have 2 water balloons, which are very like strong. As long as you use like a 12 or 11-inch balloon and fill them up to about this sort of size, they'll be very strong. You do not want to use a 5-inch balloon and put this amount of water in them, because they will be very thin, and they probably will likely pop, but these shouldn't pop unless something really sharp touches them. They shouldn't pop. So I then like to go in kind of like either side and find a neck of a balloon that's not currently being used, and just like kind of tie it in there. And I then kind of like to place it in between the balloons. The balloon is like weighing it down, but it's also not like dangling free at the bottom. It's kind of hidden in the balloons, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm just going to do this one, I'll be back. Okay, so you now want to go ahead and inflate your number balloons, whatever number balloons you're doing. I typically always tend to buy more than one, because I have had it before where there's like a pinhole in it and you don't know till like a while later. You should really use a hand pump for these, but we all know how rubbish my hand pump is after my Valentine's video. So I'm just going to do it with the electric pump, which just be very careful with. Like, you will see how I'll do the pump of air and it'll suddenly go even though I've like stopped. So it's very easy to overinflate with an electric pump, and also they're quite aggressive as well, which can cause them to pop. So just bear that in mind. Luckily I do have a few more spare in case I need them. I stopped pumping and it then inflated, so watch again. Oh, popped off. But it then continues inflating like after you've released the pressure. So if you're doing it with an electric pump, just be mindful of that. One more, I think. Because you do still want some wrinkles in there, because that's what helps it not to pop. So obviously we are going for number 11. So these will sit on top very nicely, like so. So the balloon comes with these holes, handy dandy holes. Got 1, 2 and 3. And I like to use 260s to attach them on. So just post it through and then tie it in a knot, and then I just make a loop and loop it over a balloon. Simple as that, really. So I'm just going to tie a knot twice. Dum, dum. Like that, so then you've got a loop that you can then use to loop over one of the balloons. I tend to go one forward and one back, so it just kind of sits in the right place. So I'm going to go ahead and do this to the other side. Okay, and then I'm going to push it up against the wall, so I've got the support of the wall kind of holding it in place. So you want to make sure your number is the correct way round, and then I'm going to go with this one around the back, just popping it over the blue balloon. Like so. So that one is done, and then I'm going to do this one at the front. So just placing it over the balloon. And then confusing, but it is now sat and it can be moved around, and it is in place. Okay, so I've saved myself the embarrassment by using the hand pump off screen to blow up, inflate half of a gold 260 balloon. So now is the time you kind of decorate. So I want to do some pearls. So you could do some going around, or even just doing it like this. You can put them around the one, or some pearls, or like intertwine some pearls throughout. So what you're going to do is you're going to take, oh yeah, it's this way. It's been a while since I've done one. And that's a bang. Okay, so I've now got another one. So yeah, you're going to take like an inch and like twist it around a few times, and then you're going to hold it in place. Again, take another inch and twist it around and just keep twisting, and you just keep going along basically until you run out of air. And you want to try and keep them like the same size as much as possible. Okay, so I'm now left with this, and I've got to decide where I want it to go. Maybe around the one? Maybe? We want some in here. Oh, that's quite nice. So get some glue dots. So you're just going to stick some glue dots on it basically, and then decide whereabouts you want it to stick into. Just like that, so you can do as many or as little of those as you would like. So I've got a blue one that I've got all the way into the end, but they do jump around, so just be mindful of that. But I'm going to put another one going around the one to match this one I've already done. And I'm going to kind of show you how you can like kind of tie it off basically where my scissors gone now. Okay, so you can let it go around. And then I'll take these two ends and twist them, twist them, twist them, so they don't start to come undone. And then you can cut this one off and this one, and then you can tie it off in a knot. So they are now tied off really well. Not that I think you're really able to see that, but and then obviously you can trim the ends like so. See, I think I'm just going to do some more gold pearls the other side, and then I'm kind of going to leave it at that. I think I don't want it like too crazy because we're also having a hoop as well. And then I've also just remembered that I also got some blue butterflies and some gold ones, so I'm going to stick a couple of those on as well, just to like really make it pop. I don't want it to be too much, because also I've not done obviously the hoop yet, so I don't know where else is going to be butterflies and things going on. So they've just got like cut lines, like dotted lines, so you just like bend the wings essentially, and then you can place them on so they look pretty. I'm also undecided yet whether I want to put her name on, like cricket her name onto the balloons or not. I'm not really sure. You just simply stick a glue dot on it and then you just whack it on. Just the wings, and then it's 3D and it just, yeah.
Good at shutting you out. I've always had a way of keeping closed. Beating, hiding.
Okay, so I don't know the exact time that the kids are coming home, but I've potentially got about half an hour. It's 4:30. It's typically around 5-ish they get back. So I'm going to try and make a quick garland to go across the front for the lounge, which is going to be mainly these two colours, because I want to save the other ones for the hoop, I think. Or I've got quite a lot of gold, so we could do gold for that one. Yeah, so I'm just going to quickly make up some dupes, and then I'm going to tie them together with a 260, one of the long balloons. So a few of the long balloons, because I want it a little bit more flexible, because we've got a pole up there basically that I'll be attaching it to, so I kind of want a bit of movement in it, so I can kind of shove it into places and stuff rather than it being like a tight garland like I'll show you for the party day. So yeah, I will hopefully do some of these and then I'll show you kind of me assembling it. Oh, also for this, I found some more gold leaf. I'm just gonna do like random sizes. So just let them out. They're not exact sizes like this one because this is like a structure. I wanted it to be the same size, whereas this is a garland, so I kind of like it to look a bit more organic. So I'm just gonna
I've been calling out your name from the darkness, thinking it's too late. If you're faded, I've been too much on your plate. I'll keep hiding, calling out your name, calling out your name.
So yeah, if you tie a balloon garland up like this, it actually really doesn't take long at all. I've been doing this for almost 3 minutes. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's also with me stopping to explain things as well, so it does not take much time at all. So yeah, I'm going to make the garland up and then I'm going to put it in some big bags in my nail room because I've not got any clients now until after this whole shebang. Okay, so that's taken me 8 minutes to blow up this whole massive bunch of balloons, and obviously stopping to explain as well. So I'm now just gonna like tie them together to see if it's long enough. So I'm just gonna take one of these balloons. And tie it around the end of, I say the end, tie it around one of these dupes of a balloon. Tie it to the neck of one of the balloons as well. And then I'm just going to kind of grab random balloons and then kind of incorporate the gold in it. Do I want it in the middle or? No, I'll just kind of spread it out, I think, throughout. So yeah, what you're going to do is you've got your base, kind of like how you then want to go in the gap in between, and then you're going to go round the one you've just applied and then round the old balloon and then pull it tight. And then again, put it in the gap, round the new balloon, round the old balloon, and put it tight. And now we'll go for a gold one. Let's put it in the gap, round the new gold one, round the old blue one, and pull it tight. See, isn't this so much easier than those balloon strips where you have to tie each one individually and then like thread it through the strip? This is so much quicker and easier and more secure as well. Oh. Good round, hand, good round. Yeah, and then you can pick it up and it's in one piece, basically, as well. Beautiful. So yeah, super, super quick. And then when, oh, that's the pump. And then when you get to the end of this, I just like to tie it to one of the necks of the balloons. So it's just in one piece, basically. Lovely jubbly. Probably fit another balloon on that one. right. And then I'll tie it off to one of the balloons. One chunk. I know it looks a bit like one-dimensional at the moment, but obviously when you add in your little balloons, it will look a whole lot different. And also this is only half the amount of balloons I did, so it should be enough. Down a little bit further now. So I've just inflated a bobo balloon and I'm going to pop some smaller ones in it. So really you want to do this with a hand pump. My hand pump sucks. So I'm going to do it with the electric one, which is a little bit more tricky, but it gets the job done. And then I've also got some gold leaf. And I'm going to put some of this in it as well. I'm going to tie off the neck and then cut the neck off. I'm going to cut it off. So I'm just going to put a bunch of these in here. I'm going to do more of the lighter blue because I've got a bag of 100 of those, whereas I've only got 50 of the blue slate. Okay, so instant regret because you can't put the gold leaf in the beginning, so otherwise we'll be puffing out the whole time, but it is now everywhere. I've managed to shove some down the neck and I'm just praying that I can catch it so that it doesn't all puff back out at me, and then I can hoover this up before the kids get home. I want it like a decent size, but I don't want it too big. Maybe like that. So it's got to sit on the table, I don't want it too in your face. Let's go with that. And I'm just going to twist it, and then I'm going to have to get rid of all the gold leafy bits in there as well, because it's going to be set on top of food. And I'm going to take a 260 balloon and then I'm going to wrap it around and around and around. And then I just got to make sure that the kids don't get hold of it because my goodness. Cute! Cute, cute, cute. I really like that. It's probably kind of hard for you to see really. Yeah, and then I'm gonna cricket Happy Birthday Katerina on it in white. Right, now I need to hoover this up quickly. So she's looking pretty. And because today is Saturday and her birthday is not till Monday, what you can do is you can get a big old bag and pop this over the top, so it keeps off any like dust and stops the balloon oxidizing. Just like that. And then obviously once you take it off you can kind of just move everything around and give it a little rejig so that it's sitting nicely. And then also it means that Bella's not going to come home in a second and be like, I want that. I can hide it. I've now run out of battery, so that's everything for today. Thank you for watching. Apologies for the jump scare, you know, have Holly from the future. My camera decided not to film this bit. It recorded me doing like the smaller balloons as an example, but not the bigger ones. So basically to get them onto the hoop, I'll do it this way so you can see. Same situation with the pole, but you basically take your quad and you slot it on in there, which you can then just leave it like that if you want. You can literally just place them on like that. They will hold, but obviously if someone brushes past really aggressively, you'll lose them. So what you want to do is pop them in and then twist the balloons around so then they're not going anywhere. You can twist it a couple of times if you want to make sure it's really secure, and then you want to make sure that they're really like squished down tight together. So I'm going to push this down, you can move them down like that, and then you're going to take the next one again, so sliding it in, twisting it around. As you can see, massive gaping hole here. So you're then going to take the balloons, push them down. You can also twist them around a little bit as well. So push it together as tight as it possibly go. So then there's like next to no holes. You can see there's very tiny minimal holes, but pretty much next to none. And then these are the kids' Easter balloons so I'm reusing to show us an example. So these balloons are like well over a month old, as we're into May now, mid-May. So these two quads have been tied using like a longer 260 balloon, and then you're basically going to slot it in like so, and then you can move them around and twist them where you want them to go to fill in any holes like that. Just twist them and move them until you're happy basically, and then you've got a nice thick fat looking garland, hoop, stack, whatever you want to do it with basically.
Been in hiding, I've been calling out your name from the darkness, thinking it's too late. If you're faded, I've been too much on your plate. I'll keep hiding, calling out your name, calling out your name, calling out your name. Tell me how you're feeling, since you got me out in the open. Now I'm ready to dive in. I know you told you it would be a slow burn. Been in hiding, I've been calling out your name from the darkness, thinking it's too late. If you're faded, I've been too much on your plate. I'll keep hiding, calling out your name, calling out your name, calling out your name, calling out your name, calling out your name. Been in hiding, I've been calling out your name.
Okay, so it is now Thursday, and the balloons have been up for a few days, but it's time for them to go down, so I'm now going to take them apart and put them back into bags. The kids are home, so there's only so much to be able to show you if they get in the way, and my battery is about to die, so we'll see what we can get done. Cheeky cheeks! Bubbles! Bubbles! Bubbles!
Thinking it's too late. If you're faded, I've been too much on your plate. I'll keep hiding, calling out your name, calling out your name, calling out your name, your name, calling out your name, your name, calling out your name, calling out your name.
So I used these balloons for the hoop, the garland, and then a few days later I then turned it into a grab and go garland for one of my clients because her daughter was having a birthday. So they got reused again, and you can use them for so many different things.